and give his first address to a joint session of Congress that took place today. And he was promoting his $1.8 trillion American Families Plan, a $1.8 trillion American Families Plan. And this plan will provide universal preschool, free community college, as well as cap child care costs and expand paid leave. Okay, so it's a fantastic plan. We'll talk some about this later in the show. And also Senator Tim Scott, Black Tea Party Republican from South Carolina, did a rebuttal on behalf of Republicans. And Tim Scott went out there and did basically a 21st century version of a minstrel show. Tim Scott went out there basically and embarrassed himself. Okay, so we'll discuss that as well. All right, and I knew it would be bad what Tim Scott would do, but I didn't know it was going to be that bad. So yeah, he went out and embarrassed himself. I was watching Roland Martin Unfiltered before coming on the show, and hopefully we'll talk about this on Roland Show Friday when I'm on. But also what happened today in North Carolina, okay, in the Elizabeth City area, North Carolina, a judge rejects the bid for the public release of body cam videos regarding the killing of Andrew Brown Jr. Now, you know, we've been talking about this story out in North Carolina. The family has only been able to see, the family and attorneys have only been able to see 20 seconds of video showing the killing of Andrew Brown Jr. that took place Wednesday, May 21st, 2021. And they are calling the killing an execution. And they said he had his hands on the steering wheel while he was being shot. We know there was a press conference on Tuesday that results of an autopsy were revealed, an autopsy that the family had done. And the autopsy showed, according to attorneys for the family, the autopsy showed that Andrew Brown Jr. was shot 4 times in the arm, and the fatal shot was in the back of the head. So we'll give an update on what took place in court today. North Carolina judge rejects bid for public release of body cam videos in Andrew Brown Jr. shooting. All right, we'll discuss that. Then, unexpectedly, we got an update in the Ahmaud Arbery case. Okay, we remember Ahmaud Arbery was killed in Georgia and hunted down by 3 white men in Georgia. All right, well, we found out today that the 3 men who are involved in killing Ahmaud Arbery were indicted on hate crime and kidnapping charges in connection with the death of Ahmaud Arbery. Okay, so we'll talk about that as well. The 3 men who are being charged with killing Ahmaud Arbery, they were indicted on hate crime and kidnapping charges today. Okay, so we'll discuss that as well. All right, and then we'll talk some about President Joe Biden's address, and we'll give you a brief breakdown of what happened. We'll talk about this some more on our show Thursday. Okay. Now, on the African History Network show, we focus on educating, empowering, and inspiring people of African descent throughout the diaspora and around the world, because right now it's corrects wrong behavior. What you do for yourself, what you do to yourself, and what you allow other people to do to you and get away with is based upon what you think about yourself. What you think about yourself is based upon what you have been taught about yourself. What you've been taught about yourself is based upon everything you've read, heard, and seen about yourself. So when you control the radius of a man or woman's thoughts, you can control the circumference of his or her actions, because the mind can't do or teach what it doesn't know. Now, we deal with a number of different topics here on the African History Network show. We deal with current events in history and politics, education, economic empowerment, entrepreneurship, relationships, love, sex, health issues, and much, much more. Sign up for our email newsletter. Text the word Kemet, K-E-M-E-T, to 22828. To sign up for our email newsletter, text the word Kemet, K-E-M-E-T, to 22828. To sign up for our email newsletter. Also visit our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Sign up for our email newsletter also, okay? I want to remind you that my new online course, Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade, what they didn't teach you in school, that starts up Saturday, May 1st, 2021. Saturday, May 1st, 2021, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a 9-week, 18-hour online course that I teach, and we deal with thousands of years of history and what led up to the transatlantic slave trade taking place. We also deal with the ancient African presence in the Americas, going back tens of thousands of years ago, even before Native Americans came into existence. So we just posted the link here. You can register for it. Also register at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. So I do a PowerPoint presentation. We have book references, articles, video clips. It's a 9-week, it's 9 consecutive Saturdays. It's a 9-week, 18-hour online course that I teach. And all this, we do the sessions live. All the sessions are recorded. So you can go back and watch it over and over again as well. Now, as soon as you register, I just finished a class. We had a class that just ended last week. So as soon as you register, there are 10 sessions of the previous class that you can go ahead and start watching. You can watch from around the world. The class is regularly $130, on sale $80. Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade, what they didn't teach you in school. All right, you can give us a call, 313-778-7600 is the call-in number. If you have a quick question or comment, 313-778-7600 is the call-in number if you have a quick question or comment. Also, if you want to comment on Joe Biden's address to Congress dealing with the American Families Plan, the $1.8 trillion plan, and if you want to comment on Tim Scott's rebuttal on behalf of the GOP. Now, what's interesting is Joe Biden, during his speech, said white supremacy is terrorism. Okay, he called out white supremacy. He said white supremacy is terrorism in his speech. This is Joe Biden. In Tim Scott's rebuttal speech, Tim Scott said America is not a racist country. Tim Scott is black. Tim Scott is also against reparations, by the way. Tim Scott has already said, Black Tea Party Republican Tim Scott from South Carolina, where the Civil War started, Tim Scott has already said he's going to vote no on reparations. He voted twice to acquit Donald Trump in Senate impeachment trials also. I watched the live minstrel show tonight. You listen to the African History Network show right here on 910 a.m. the Superstation of Future Radio. I'm Michael Imhotep. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Gain knowledge in minutes from insightful summaries of progressive and socially conscious books. Blacklisted gives you access to curated content that'll satisfy your curiosity to learn and understand different perspectives. Empower yourself through inspirational and actionable ideas. It's easy to read or listen to on the go. Blacklisted. Empower yourself. Start your free trial today.
We all know the cannabis industry is headed toward an uprise in the past decade. What happens when there is a brand that brings this uprise in a blow? The cannabis industry welcomes her uprise. Hustle her hemp. Delivering excellence with pride is her watchword, and how you choose to embrace it makes it a priority. From cultivating rich cannabis into exquisite and tastefully finished CBD products to delivery, Hustle Her Hemp leaves no stone unturned. Hustle Her Hemp's mission is to empower women of color by building business and creating legacies, uniting beauty, health, and business. We are a pure definition of how we want the CBD industry to become in the future. While we are redefining innovation, we bring the same energy to improving the quality of life. Hustle Her Hemp is the new uprise.
Hi, I'm Joel Wilson, President and CEO of JCW Computer Consulting LLC, a technology implementation firm with over 20 years of satisfying customers. We offer a full spectrum of industry top-tier branded services. We are an authorized partner or reseller for Lenovo, Zoom, T-Mobile, Microsoft 365 and Surface tablets, Google Workspace, Acer, Asus, Samsung, PCmatic security software, and many more. Our online store features laptops, Chromebooks, computers, printers, accessories, and software. Businesses, take advantage of our free 1-hour Zoom tech consultation and know we offer top nationwide high-speed internet service providers, voice over IP, and cellular phone services. Home users, don't miss our current in-stock Chromebook inventory. Please visit us at jcwcc.com or call 215-879-6701.
Are you getting ready for fall or winter? We have the solution for all seasonal clothing needs. Kemeticwear.com is the go-to online source for Kemetic African fashion and lifestyle products with a contemporary twist. We're committed to offering unique styles reflecting our African heritage. Kemeticwear.com is inspired by KemeticScribes.com to influence our people in learning and showing pride. Please visit our website at Kemeticwear.com.
Welcome back to the African History Network show right here on 910 AM Superstation The Future Radio. I'm your host, Brother Michael Imhotep. It is Wednesday, April 28th, 2021, and we are live. Calling number is 313-778-7600 is the calling number. If you have a question or comment, 313-778-7600 is the calling number if you have a question or comment. All right. So I want to go to this first story. This deals with update in the case dealing with Andrew Brown, okay, out of North Carolina. So we found out today that a judge in Elizabeth City, a judge on Wednesday, rejected bids to have body camera footage of sheriff's deputies shooting Andrew Brown Jr. released to the public, but the judge said the man's family, Andrew Brown's family, would be allowed to view the videos. All right. Now, Superior Court Judge Jeff Foster, Foster, said turning over footage to news media could affect a potential trial of law enforcement officers who opened fire while serving an arrest warrant on Andrew Brown, who was 42 years old, in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Okay, now Judge Foster ruled today the release at this time would create a serious threat to the fair, impartial, and orderly administration of justice. Okay, the release at this time would create a serious threat to the fair, impartial, and orderly administration of justice. Confidentiality is necessary to protect either an active internal or criminal investigation or a potential internal or criminal investigation. Okay. He said confidentiality is necessary to protect either an active internal or criminal investigation or a potential internal or criminal investigation. Now, Judge Foster ordered the sheriff to allow Andrew Brown's immediate family and attorney to privately view body cam footage from 4 deputies within the next 10 days, okay? And this is 10 calendar days, not 10 business days, but 10 calendar days. Judge Foster ordered the sheriff to blur faces or name tags of deputies involved before showing footage to Brown's family. Now, the judge also said he would revisit the issue in 30 to 45 days once investigations of the incident are completed. All right. Judge Foster said today, and we're going to pull this article up here from NBC News. Let's turn on the screen share here just a second. Pull up this article from NBC News. NC judge, North Carolina judge, rejects bid. North Carolina judge rejects bid for public release of body cam videos in Andrew Brown Jr. shooting. Okay, this is from April 28th, 2021 from NBC News. All right, now let's go back to this article here. Okay, we're going to go to clip one in just a second here, Shakita. So the judge said that he would revisit the issue in 30 to 45 days once the investigations of the incident are completed. Judge Foster said the court will, in its discretion, consider at that time further release of the video based on the factors as they existed at that time. Now, Andrew Brown's family took little solace in Judge Foster's ruling that will allow only private viewing of the video footage. Lily Brown Clark, Andrew Brown's aunt, said it will be up to those few people allowed to see the tape to now speak on Andrew Brown's behalf. Okay, I want to go to clip one here. This is from NBC Nightly News. This deals with the decision from the judge today and response from the family. Let's go to this clip.
Andrew Brown will be disclosed to his surviving family and lawyer. That means in 10 days they can watch the redacted videos but not have copies. Andrew Brown's 92-year-old grandmother. Would you like to see that video?
Yes, I would.
Would you like to tell me to see that video?
Yes, I would.
Why?
Because then everybody know what happened.
And right now?
Right now, nobody knows what happened.
The sheriff today. Well, what would have been the ideal outcome? Release. Full release. Monday, the sheriff played a single 20-second clip.
This was the execution.
Attorney Chantel Sherry Lassiter described it.
They run up to his vehicle shooting. He still stood there and sat there in his vehicle with his hands on the steering wheel while being shot at.
But in court today, the district attorney called her description patently false, that Brown's car was driving towards the officers and makes contact with them. It is then and only then that you're shot.
I still stand by what I saw in that clip.
Street security cameras show the SWAT team arriving. In the next 30 days, the DA says an independent state investigation should be completed. Then a decision. Does the DA charge the officers? The deputies remain unnamed, but had an attorney in court today. The officers are very distraught over what happened. And feel for the family of Andrew Brown. We believe that the shooting was justified. If no officers are charged, the DA says he will release the video. Tonight, extra law enforcement has been deployed here to keep the peace.
Okay, so that was from today. Were you all able to hear the clip? Okay, I'm asking, were you all able to hear the audio we just played? So that was from today in Elizabeth City. Now, on Roland Martin Unfiltered, and I have to get the video of this. If you saw Roland Martin Unfiltered today, the April 28th edition, you know, he interviewed one of the attorneys for the family. And the one of the attorneys for the family, I forgot his name, he addressed the issue that you just heard that came up in court today regarding I think it was the prosecuting attorney who said that, or it was one of the attorneys, he's either the prosecuting attorney, or I think it was the prosecuting attorney who said that, or one of the defense attorneys who said that it was involving Andrew Brown Jr. Backing up and hitting the police car. Okay. One of the attorneys for the family said that there's a difference between you trying to hit officers with your car or hit officers who are in a car and just backing up and hitting a car that may not have officers in it. He said that when Andrew Brown Jr. was backing up and hit one of the police vehicles, he did not pose a threat to the officers. Okay, so you're gonna hear more about this. I want to get that clip and play it on the show tomorrow. All right, 313-778-7600 is the call-in number if you have a quick question or comment. So that took place today. We're still waiting to see the full video. It could be up to 10 days before the family gets to see the video. Now, I want to go back to this article here. Okay, so Lily Brown Clark, Andrew Brown's aunt, said it will be up to those few people allowed to see the tape to now speak on Andrew Brown's behalf. Okay, she said, quote, Andrew has been deliberately silenced. His voice now will be the cameras and the family and the attorneys, but we must hear what he has to say by looking at those cameras. Okay, she said that Wednesday afternoon. She went on to say, and I don't know why law enforcement people have this weird obsession with killing our black men. It just doesn't make any sense. But now she should talk to Tim Scott. She should talk to Tim Scott, because Tim Scott just said today that America is not a racist country. All right. Reverend Bernice King, okay, daughter of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King. We know yesterday was Coretta Scott King's birthday. She tweeted that something to the effect of, she said something to the effect that Tim Scott lives in another America. Or what America does Tim Scott live in? All right. Tim Scott is going, I'm telling you, he's going to catch hell behind that speech he gave tonight on behalf of the white nationalist party, the GOP, especially when he said America is not a racist country. It leads one to believe he's never studied history of this country. Okay. Racism is a system of advantage and privilege distributed based upon race. What the COVID pandemic did was expose the structural inequities largely based upon race in this country. Now, in many states, going back to this article from NBC News, and we're going to go to clip 2, Shakita. In many states, law enforcement footage, such as video shot from the dashboard of police cars, and let me flip back over here. I'm going to flip back over here to the article. Let's look at this one here. Okay. So in many states, law enforcement footage, such as video shot from the dashboard of police cars or officers' body cameras, is considered a public record. Is considered a public record, creating a defined, simple path for that to be publicly released. But that is not the case in North Carolina. See, once again, you have 50 states. You have like 50, these are 50 individual governments. Different states have different laws, okay? But that is not the case in North Carolina, which requires a judge's order to allow such footage to be released. District Attorney Andrew Womble also said Andrew Brown's car can be seen in footage moving backward and then forward each time making contact with officers, okay? let's see here. Okay, so read the rest of that. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, read the rest of that article here from NBC News. In North Carolina judge rejects bid for public release of body cam video in Andrew Brown Jr. shooting. All right, I want to go to this second clip here. This is from the readout, Joanne Reed, MSNBC. Judge denies release of Andrew Brown Jr. killing regarding body cam footage. And I think in this clip, she is speaking with Georgetown law professor Paul Butler. Let's go to clip 2, Shakita. Okay, just press play when you have it ready. A judge Wednesday rejected bids to have body camera footage. Go ahead and press play. Go ahead.
In North Carolina, today a judge denied a request to release body camera footage of the shooting of Andrew Brown Jr. by sheriff deputies to the public for at least the next 30 days. He cited ongoing investigation. And Brown's family won't get to see additional footage until the faces of the deputies involved are blurred to protect their identities. The judge did order that 4 body cam videos and 1 dash cam be made available to the family within the next 10 days, as opposed to the 1 20-second video the family viewed on Monday. In a statement, family attorney Ben Crump said he was disappointed, quote, in this modern civil rights crisis where we see black people killed by the police everywhere we look. Video evidence is the key to discerning the truth and getting well-deserved justice for victims of senseless murders, unquote. Body camera footage is the focus of another death in police custody, this one of 26-year-old Mario Gonzalez in California on April 19th. Video released today showed Alameda police officers pinning him to the ground for several minutes face down. And we should warn you, this video is disturbing.
Oh, no wonder. Yeah, I got it. Hey, you got it. What do you have? Sorry. No, it's not that. Okay. No, it wasn't that. Okay. No. Stop. No, wait.
Police claim that they attempted to detain Gonzalez and a disqualification ensued and that he suffered a medical emergency. And if that sounds familiar, it's because Minneapolis police made the same initial claim about the death of George Floyd. So we're just going to wait to see how that investigation plays out. At a rally demanding release of the body cam video yesterday, Gonzalez's brother said his brother's death in police custody was in the same manner as George Floyd. President Biden is expected to make a renewed push tonight to pass the police reform bill named for George Floyd, the Justice in Policing Act, which Vice President Kamala Harris co-authored as a California senator. Joining me now, Paul Butler, Georgetown law professor and former federal prosecutor, and Mark Claxton, retired NYPD detective and director of the Black Law Enforcement Alliance. Paul, I want to go to you first on the refusal to release this video. They're making the statement that essentially people will see the video and jump to conclusions, but people are already jumping to conclusions. What do you make of this denial of the release?
The judge is claiming releasing the video now will impact the investigation. That's a common excuse when the cops don't want the public to see something. So we've seen more transparency in other high-profile cases. In Columbus, Ohio, video was released within hours of the shooting of Ma'Khia Bryant. The same in Chicago after the police killed Adam Toledo. With Mr. Brown's killing, I think there's a legitimate concern about a cover-up. If the video exonerated the cops, I think we would have seen it by now.
That is the point, and I think that is clear. Mark, just on the Alameda case, we're trying to keep all of these cases in our mind at the same time. But there are similarities between that case, the statement that was put out, and the statement that was put out on George Floyd. In George Floyd's case, they say officers were able to get the suspect into handcuffs and noted he appeared to be suffering medical distress. Officers called for an ambulance. He was transported to Hennepin County Medical Center, an ambulance where he died a short time later. That was a lie. And here in the Mario Gonzalez case, an officer attempted to detain the man and a physical altercation ensued. At that time, the man had a medical emergency. Officers immediately began life-saving measures and requested the Alameda Fire Department to the scene. Alameda Fire Department transported the male to a local area hospital where he later died. These almost read like cookie-cutter statements that are put out that just pop out of a vending machine. And that's why I like to refer to them as claims. I don't even say they said. I just say they claim because they fall apart so often.
Yeah, unfortunately, where black and brown bodies are routinely now on a regular basis just killed at the hands of law enforcement. We're getting a witness not only the apathy of government in large part over these killings, but the ugly underside of what has become the policing profession, which forces us to make some harsh decisions moving forward as to whether or not how we want to proceed with this policing thing.
Let me ask you this question. Mark, let me ask you this question, because you're a former law enforcement officer. What is going on? It feels like after the initial Black Lives Matter movement started to build up, there was a reduction in violence. The police took a second thought and took a step back before committing violence. This feels like an escalation. Does it feel like that to you?
The only reason it does not feel like an escalation to me is because I realize, I've been connected to some of these stories for a very long time. This has been happening for a long time. It's just that we are now more in tune and covering it differently.
People that I saw.
Okay, I guess that's all of that clip. All right, so that took place today, dealing with in North Carolina, dealing with Andrew Brown, and then also we saw an update in the Ahmaud Arbery case as well. Okay, let me switch gears and talk about what happened with Ahmaud Arbery. Also today, once again, this is a very, very busy news day because federal investigators raided Rudy Giuliani's New York City apartment and his office. We'll talk some about that tomorrow. So Rudy is in deep, deep trouble. Okay. Rudy Giuliani is in deep, deep trouble. And, most of us saw this coming. Okay. I have no sympathy for him. I hope he goes to prison. I hope he gets everything that he deserves. And hopefully, Donald Trump will be convicted as well. Donald Trump belongs in prison also. All right. So I'm sending you this other clip, Shakita. So cue that up for me, please. In the Ahmaud Arbery case, it was a surprise came down today. And I'm going to look at the reporting here from CNN News, CNN.com. Three men, we know the three men who are allegedly involved in the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. They were indicted on hate crime and kidnapping charges today in the connection to Ahmaud Arbery's death, federal prosecutors say. Let me flip over here, and I want to go to this article from CNN. Okay. I posted an article here from NBC News about this, and it got over 2,000 likes on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, The African History Network. Let's look at this here. All right. So, federal prosecutors indicted the three men accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery on hate crime and attempted kidnapping charges, the Department of Justice announced on Wednesday. Now, Ahmaud Arbery was 25 years old, African-American man. He was out for a jog near Brunswick, Georgia on February 23rd, 2020, when he was chased down in a truck by three white men and fatally shot. Two of the three men, Gregory and Travis McMichael, claimed to be conducting a citizen's arrest and acted in self-defense. A third man, William Roddy Bryan Jr., who recorded video of Arbery's death, allegedly hit Arbery with his truck after he joined the McMichaels in the chase. Okay, here are these three dumbasses mugshots. Okay, hopefully they go to prison also. Be nice if they have a cell next to Derek Chauvin and keep each other company. But, they're probably different states, so they may not end up together, but who knows? Now, all three men were charged with one count of interference with rights and with one count of attempted kidnapping, according to a news release from the Department of Justice. Now, Travis McMichael and his father, Gregory McMichael, were charged with 1 count each of using, carrying, and brandishing, in Travis's case, discharging a firearm during and in relation to a crime of violence. Now, Wanda Cooper Jones, who was Ahmaud Arbery's mother, told CNN, it's one step closer to justice, is one step closer to justice. They did the investigation properly and they came out with those indictments. So my family and I were pleased. Now, Wanda Cooper Jones, who was notified earlier in the day by federal investigators of the forthcoming federal charges, told CNN that the hate crime charges on a federal level were huge. Now, Ahmaud Arbery family attorney Benjamin Crump said the indictments were, quote, yet another step in the right direction, another step in the right direction. Now, this is attorney Benjamin Crump put out a statement that said this is an important milestone in America's uphill march toward racial justice, and we applaud the Justice Department for treating this heinous act for what it is, a purely evil, racially motivated hate crime. Now, Jason Sheffield and Robert Rubin, attorneys for Travis McMichael, said in the statement, quote, we are deeply disappointed that the Justice Department bought the false narrative that the media and state prosecutors have promulgated. Brian's attorney, Kevin Gow, also expressed disappointment. He said, Roddy Bryan has committed no crime. We look forward to a fair and speedy trial to the day when Mr. Bryan is released and reunited with his family. I think you may be waiting a long time, player, on that one. Because I remember what, let me pull up just a second here. Let me pull up this other picture here. What Roddy Bryan told police officers on the scene is different than what he said when he was sitting on the couch next to his wife, holding a press conference, trying to distance himself from the other 2 idiots. Okay, it was different. Okay, I'm going to pull up this clip here. I'm going to send this to you also, Shakita. Let me pull up I'm going to pull up this picture of Ahmaud Arbery as well. We covered this story when this footage came out. And what it showed was that what he said, what William Roddy Bryan said to police is much different than what he was claiming. Okay? I'm going to find this clip here in just a second. What we're going to do, we're going to go ahead. I just sent you a clip of Joe Biden from his address to Congress. Shakita, we're going to go to that clip here in just a second, and we'll come back to Ahmaud Arbery. So in Biden's address to Congress today, a joint session of Congress. Now, normally, when at the beginning of the year, the president will do his State of the Union address. But when you have a new president, they've only been in office for 2 or 3 months, right? It's an address to a joint session of Congress. So Joe Biden laid out his American Families Plan. His American Families Plan, which is a $1.8 trillion plan to help families. And it will do a number of things, including provide universal preschool, free community college, as well as cap child care costs and expand paid leave. Okay. Now, to pay for this plan, the White House is proposing tax hikes on the rich, including raising the top tax rate on the wealthiest Americans and increasing the capital gains tax on households making more than $1 million a year, raising the capital gains tax to 39.6%. Okay. I want to go to this clip. So there was a portion of the speech. He's dealing with a number of different topics here in the speech, but it's focused on the $1.8 trillion American Jobs Plan And Biden also talked about gun violence, and he talked about the need for the HR 1 to protect voting rights. And he also talked about the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act as well. The need to get Congress, well, it's already passed the House of Representatives. It has to pass the U.S. Senate. The need to get the Senate to pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. All right. And there was a clip here. Let me see. Let me scroll back down to this here just a second. Biden calls on Congress to pass George Floyd policing bill by next month. All right. Joe Biden invoked the murder of George Floyd to call on the nation to reckon with racism and other forms of discrimination. Joe Biden said, quote, "We have all seen the knee of injustice on the neck of Black America. Now is our opportunity to make some real progress." Joe Biden said, adding that the majority of police officers serve honorably. He went on to say, quote, "We have to come together to rebuild trust between law enforcement and the people they serve to root out systemic racism in our criminal justice system." Now, keep in mind, what's his name? Donald Trump. Donald Trump didn't admit that systemic racism existed. Okay. When pressed on a private phone call with Bob Woodward, when Bob Woodward was writing his book, he, halfway admitted systemic racism existed. But in public, Trump doesn't even want to admit systemic racism exists. One. Two, he nominated an attorney general, William Barr, who said systemic racism in policing does not exist. You all remember that? Okay. So here's Joe Biden talking about the knee of injustice on the neck of Black America. Joe Biden also in the same speech today said that he also said that white supremacy is terrorism. He also said in today's speech that white supremacy is terrorism. Now, Tim Scott, who is Black, last time I checked, half the time I can't tell. Tim Scott, Black Tea Party Republican from South Carolina. Tim Scott, in his rebuttal speech tonight, that was 14 minutes, he said that America is not a racist country. You live in South Carolina. South Carolina is where the Civil War started. South Carolina was the first state to secede from the Union because they wanted to maintain slavery. And you're saying America is not a racist country, Tim Scott? Let's go to this clip, Shakita. Press play, take it off mute.
Before her father's shooting, when I spoke with Anna Floyd, George Floyd's young daughter, it was a little tight, so I was kneeling down to talk to her so I could look her in the eye. She looked at me, she said, "My daddy changed the world." Well, after the conviction of George Floyd's murderer, you can see how right she was if we have the courage to act as a Congress. We've all seen the need of injustice on the neck of Black Americans. Now's our opportunity to make some real progress. The vast majority of men and women wearing a uniform and a badge serve our communities, and they serve them honorably. I know them. I know they want. I know we want to help meet this moment as well. My fellow Americans, we have to come together to rebuild trust between law enforcement and the people they serve, to root out systemic racism in our criminal justice system, and to enact police reform in George Floyd's name. That's the House already. I know Republicans have their own ideas and are engaged in a very productive discussions with Democrats in the Senate. We need to work together to find a consensus. But let's get it done next month, by the first anniversary of George Floyd's death. The country supports this reform, and Congress should act. We have a giant opportunity to bend the arc of the moral universe toward justice, real justice. And with the plans outlined tonight, we have a real chance to root out systemic racism that plagues American lives in other ways. A chance to deliver real equity, good jobs, good schools, affordable housing, clean air, clean water, being able to generate wealth and pass it down to generations because you have access to purchase a house. Real opportunities in the lives of more Americans, Black, white, Latino, Asian Americans, Native Americans.
All right. So that was part of the speech today. And we'll talk some more about the speech tomorrow. All right. We're out of time here on 910 AM Superstation WFDF. Those watching on Facebook and YouTube, keep watching. We're going to keep broadcasting for a few more minutes. Remember, at the African History Network, we focus on educating, empowering, and inspiring people of African descent throughout the diaspora and around the world, because right now it's correct wrong behavior. It's not over till we win. Wakanda forever. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace. All right, stand by. All right, stand by, everybody. Stand by. Okay. So we played that one clip here. That's from the speech tonight. We'll have more coverage of the speech tomorrow. Just 1 second here. All right, let's see. Let me pull this up here. Okay. All right, how's everybody doing? Okay. I want to try to find this clip here, and I may not be able to get to it till tomorrow. But this was William Roddy Bryan. This is going back to Ahmaud Arbery. And okay, this is right here. This is from CBS News. New video appears to contradict suspect's account in Ahmaud Arbery killing. All right, so William Roddy Bryan's attorney is saying that his client didn't do anything wrong. Let me go back and look at the exact quote. Jason Sheffield, and we'll turn on the screen share here. We'll go back to the screen share, let you see this. Because what Bryan told police when they arrived at the scene of the killing is different than what is being said now. So Jason Sheffield and Robert Rubin, attorneys for Travis McMichael, said in a statement, quote, "We are deeply disappointed that the Justice Department bought the false narrative that the media and state prosecutors have promulgated." Okay. Bryan's attorney, Kevin Gow, William Roddy Bryan's attorney, Kevin Gow, also expressed disappointment. He said, "Roddy Bryan has committed no crime. We look forward to a fair and speedy trial and to the day when Mr. Bryan is released and reunited with his family." All right. Now, all three men used force to interfere with Arbery's rights. All three men used force to interfere with Arbery's rights. Federal prosecutors said all three men Federal prosecutors said all three men used force and threats of force to intimidate and interfere with Arbery's right to use a public street because of his race. Okay, to use a public street because of his race. Now, while Arbery was jogging, prosecutors said the McMichaels armed themselves with firearms, got into a truck, and chased Arbery through the public streets of the neighborhood while yelling at him, using their truck to cut off his route and threatening him with firearms. Okay, using their truck to cut off his route and threatening them with firearms. Now, William Roddy Bryan also joined the chase and cut off Arbery's route with his truck, prosecutors said. All three defendants, quote, the Justice Department, their press release stated, all three defendants attempted to unlawfully seize and confine Arbery by chasing after him in their trucks. Okay, by chasing after him in their trucks in an attempt to restrain him, restrict his free movement, corral and detain him against his will, and prevent his escape. Okay, now this is what the Justice Department said in their press release about the charges. Now, video footage of the fatal shooting recorded by William Roddy Bryan shows Ahmaud Arbery and Travis McMichael tussling before 3 gunshots are heard. Okay, tussling before 3 gunshots are heard. Now, blood appears on Ahmaud Arbery's t-shirt below his left rib cage. He stumbles and falls in the middle of the 2-lane road. Prosecutors said Travis McMichael, quote, used, carried, brandished, and discharged a Remington shotgun, while his father used, carried, and brandished a .357 Magnum. Now, so in separate state proceedings, Gregory and Travis McMichael pleaded not guilty to malice and felony murder charges and counts of aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. Now, if we go back, we talked about this here on the show. Okay, if we go back to what date was this? December 16th, 2020. December 16th, 2020. There was an article from CBS News and other outlets reported on this. New video footage surfaced that contradicts what William Roddy Bryan was saying. How many of y'all remember this? This is from December 16th, 2020. New video appears to contradict suspect's account in Ahmaud Arbery killing. Now, a new video has surfaced in the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, the 25-year-old black man who was gunned down in February, while his family says he was jogging. The new video casts doubt on one suspect's version of what happened. The police body cam video was taken just moments after Ahmaud Arbery was killed. It shows the crime scene and investigators near the young man's body. The video obtained by CBS Jacksonville affiliate WJAX shows officers talking to William Roddy Bryan at the crime scene. Bryan was asked by one of the police officers on the scene, "You're a passerby or coming through?" William Roddy Bryan, who says he had nothing to do with it, he was just observing, he was just recording, he told the officer not necessarily. The officer asked William Roddy Bryan, there on the scene, "You're a passerby or coming through?" Bryan said not necessarily. Bryan recorded the deadly confrontation on his cell phone on February 23rd. His video shows Arbery running through a Brunswick, Georgia neighborhood with Greg and Travis McMichael chasing him in their truck. Now, the video ends with Arbery shot and killed by Travis McMichael. The video was leaked in May, months after the killing. All right, now, William Roddy Bryan tells the officer, I pulled out of my driveway, was going to try to block him. He was going all around it. I made a few moves at him, and he didn't stop. This is what he told the officer. Now, Bryan's attorney, Kevin Gow, who we just read a statement from that came out today, Bryan's attorney, Kevin Gow, back in December 16, 2020, still maintains that his client, quote, has never been more than a witness in the shooting. But that doesn't sound like a witness. That sounds you were involved. See, that's what Kevin Gow, attorney Kevin Gow, said when this new video surfaced. He said, "Oh, we maintain that he has never been more than a witness in the shooting." Sounds like you were involved in it. Let's go to this clip here, because what you said to the police is different than what you said when you held a press conference sitting next to your wife, trying to back away from what happened after the video of Ahmaud being killed was released and it went viral. See, these white men didn't know this was going to blow up like this. They thought they could just get away with this killing. They didn't know it was going to blow up like this. When the video of Ahmaud being hunted down and killed went viral, William Roddy Bryant held a press conference. He's sitting on the couch next to his wife, and he's saying he's just a bystander. Okay? He's just a witness. After he held that press conference, then December 16, 2020, then body camera footage came out of one of the officers that he talked to there on the scene of the crime. And he told the officer something much different than what he was saying in that press conference. Let's go to this clip here. Let me see if we can cue this up.
Video has surfaced in the killing of Ahmaud Arbery.
Tonight,
new video has surfaced in the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. He is the 25-year-old black man who was gunned down in February while his family says he was out jogging. The new video casts doubt on one suspect's version of what exactly happened. Here's CBS's Omar Villafranca.
This police body cam video taken just moments after Ahmaud Arbery was killed shows investigators standing near the young man's body. In the video, obtained by our Jacksonville station WJAX, officers are seen talking to William Roddy Bryan at the crime scene.
You're a passerby coming through? Nah, not necessarily.
Bryan recorded the deadly February 23rd confrontation on his cell phone. His video shows Arbery running through a Brunswick, Georgia neighborhood with Greg and Travis McMichael chasing him in their truck. It ends with Arbery shot and killed by Travis McMichael. The video was leaked in May, months after the killing, and immediately sparked national outrage. The McMichaels were arrested and charged with murder, and Arbery's family also wanted Bryan behind bars.
I had nothing to do with it.
Before his arrest, Bryan maintained his innocence, saying he had nothing to do with the confrontation and killing of Arbery. But the new body cam video reveals a different story.
I pulled out of my driveway, was going to try to block him. But he was going all around it, and I made a few moves at him, and he didn't stop.
Bryan was eventually arrested and charged with murder. All three men have pleaded not guilty and were denied bail.
I just spoke with Bryan's attorney, Kevin Goff, who still maintains that his client was nothing more than a witness to the shooting. In a statement, Ahmaud Arbery's mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, says she wants all the suspects held fully accountable by the law. No trial date has been set. Nora?
Omar Villafranca, thank you.
Okay, so that was from that article's from December 16th, 2020. All right, December 16th, 2020.
Black Bees products are a collection of natural, organic, personal care products with an appreciation of nature and bees. Our philosophy is without bees, we have nothing. We are honoring our Nile Valley ancestors who understood the importance of bees. Black Bees created a high-quality, natural, organic personal care line that would be affordable to everyone. We hope you try and enjoy our Black Bees products line and come back and visit us at blackbeesproducts.com.
We all know the cannabis industry is headed toward an uprise in the past decade. What happens when there is a brand that brings this uprise in a blow? The cannabis industry welcomes her uprise. Hustle her hemp. Delivering excellence with pride is her watchword, and how you choose to embrace it makes it a priority. From cultivating rich cannabis into exquisite and tastefully finished CBD products to delivery, Hustle Her Hemp leaves no stone unturned. Hustle Her Hemp's mission is to empower women of color by building business and creating legacies, uniting beauty, health, and business. We are a pure definition of how we want the CBD industry to become in the future. While we are redefining innovation, we bring the same energy to improving the quality of life. Hustle Her Hemp is the new uprise.
With blackbusinesstee.com, the messages are clear and meaningful. Keep your business in the black and out of the red. Mind your black business, know your numbers, and plan strategically. Black Business Boss, lead your industry. Support black business, encourage, patronize, and uplift one another. blackbusinesstee.com currently has products sold in Detroit, Atlanta, Chicago, and Los Angeles, with proceeds returned to the black community. They have a wide selection of hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, hats, sweatshirts that support black-owned businesses. Visit the website blackbusinesstee.com. That's blackbusinesstee.com. For 25 years, the Black History 101 Mobile Museum has carried on the rich legacy of the Black Museum movement in America by showcasing original artifacts of the Black experience at colleges, universities, K-12 schools, corporations, libraries, conferences, and cultural events, making it the most traversed Black History mobile exhibit in American history. Dr. Khalid El Hakim is the founder of the Black History 101 Mobile Museum, and he is a highly sought-after public speaker on topics of Black history, social studies, education, museum studies, hip-hop, and race relations. Dr. Khalid was named among the change makers for NBC Universal's Erase the Hate campaign and listed as one of the 100 men of distinction for Black enterprise. He recently founded the Michigan Hip Hop Archive on the campus of Western Michigan University. The Black History 101 Mobile Museum is currently scheduling in-person and virtual exhibits nationwide. For more information, please contact Dr. Khalid Al Hakim directly at 313-645-4197, 313-645-4197, or visit their website at blackhistorymobilemuseum.com. That's blackhistorymobilemuseum.com. You can also email him at bhistory101@yahoo.com, bhistory101@yahoo.com. Okay, we'll talk more about Biden's address to Congress. We'll talk some more about that tomorrow. We know that he was promoting his $1.8 trillion American Families Plan. Now, let's look at, I want to look quickly here. There's a piece from the Washington Post that I was looking at dealing with top 5 takeaways from Biden's American Families Plan. Top 5 takeaways from Biden's American Families Plan. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's look at this. Biden has an ambitious plan that will greatly expand the U.S. government's role in daily life. It will be tough to pass. Okay, they may be able to use the budget reconciliation process to get this passed, and just need 51 votes, with Vice President Kamala Harris being the tiebreaker. Upon review, the Senate staffers, Democratic Senate staffers, reviewed the guidelines around the budget reconciliation process and found out that instead of it only being Democrats only being able to use it twice during during the 117th Congress, which lasts for 2 years, they found out they're able to use it 4 times. So they used it once for the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan. They can use it 3 more times. So they may be able to use it. So we know they're going to use it for the infrastructure plan, which is somewhere around maybe 2.7 trillion for the infrastructure plan. Okay, the American Jobs Act. They may be able to use it also for the American Families Plan. Now, number one, this is a big expansion of U.S. government support for families. This is a big expansion of U.S. government support for families. And let's flip over to the screen share once again. This is a piece from the Washington Post, top 5 takeaways from Biden's American Families Plan. Also, if you want a transcript of the speech, you can go to whitehouse.gov, okay, because all the transcripts of speeches that a president gives is at whitehouse.gov. And at NBC News, they have the full video of his speech also. So we'll cover this speech more tomorrow, because politics is the legal distribution of scarce wealth, power, and resources, and the writing of laws, statutes, ordinances, amendments, and treaties, their adoption, interpretation, and enforcement. So what he was talking about tonight directly impacts African Americans. Okay. And the center of this, the center focus of the speech today was dealing with explaining to Americans what's in the American Families Plan, breaking it down part by part, explaining how it's going to impact them, and then putting pressure on Republicans to get this passed, or putting pressure especially on the Senate, because it should pass the House with no problem. It's going to be hard to get it passed in the Senate. So he wants to explain to Americans, both Democrats and Republicans and independents, what's in the bill, how this is going to help them, how this is going to make their lives better. So they put pressure on their members of the House of Representatives and the Senate. They call them, send them emails, etc., to put pressure on them to pass this bill. And that's what you do. That's smart. That's what you do. Okay. Let's see here. So let's go back to this one from the Washington Post. There was also one I was reading dealing with the top 5 takeaways or something like that from NBC News as well. NBCnews.com. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, so this is a big expansion of a U.S. government support for families. Biden calls for a much larger government role in people's daily lives. Is basically a rejection of the Reagan era mantra of smaller government and an embrace of a more European style safety net. The most dramatic changes in the proposal would expand the time frame for publicly funded schooling in the United States from 13 years to 17 years, from 13 years to 17 years. Two of those years are through universal pre-K. Okay, two of those years are through universal preschool, which would be available for all 3 and 4 year olds. Also, Americans would be able to enroll in 2 years of community college for free. enroll in 2 years of community college for free. So free preschool for 3 and 4 year olds. And then after you graduate from high school, you'd be able to go to 2 years of community college for free. Now, if you can go to 2 years of community college for free, that will drastically impact future student loan debt. That would drastically positively impact future student loan debt. So if you can go to a community college for free for 2 years, then when you go to a university for your bachelor's degree, basically you just have to do 2 years there, greatly reducing how much you have to spend to go to college. Then he's talking about increasing in Pell Grants. So if you qualify for Pell Grants and Pell Grants pay for everything, then you won't incur, at least for tuition, you won't incur debt. All right. So, but overall, this will, if you can go to community college for free for 2 years, this could drastically reduce the cost of college overall for people. All right. And then he's talking about increasing the amount for Pell Grants. And they still, in this one here, I don't think they talked about discharging student loan debt yet. That's something else. Okay. But all that then ties into people's economic conditions, the amount of debt that they owe, wealth creation. When you can reduce debt, discharge debt, it can increase your credit score. Okay. You can get this debt paid off faster. So you can start putting money aside to buy a home, acquire assets, start a business. So that is something very important. There was a executive order. I was looking at an executive order. We talked about this before. This one right here. This is from January 26, 2021. There have been at least 45 executive orders, maybe 50 now that he signed. He did 10 on January 20th, 2021. That was the first day in office, which was a half a day. You can read all executive orders at whitehouse.gov. You can read all executive orders at whitehouse.gov. This one right here. Memorandum on redressing our nation's and the federal government's history of discriminatory housing practices and policies. Memorandum on redressing our nation's and the federal government's history of discriminatory housing practices and policies, January 26, 2021. Okay. So read this one right here. This ties into redlining and housing discrimination and things like this. He talks about the interstate highway, the creation of the interstate highway system funded and constructed by the federal government and state governments in the 20th century disproportionately burdened many historically Black and low income neighborhoods in many American cities. Many urban interstate highways were deliberately built to pass through Black neighborhoods, often requiring the destruction of housing and other local institutions. To this day, many Black neighborhoods are disconnected from access to high quality housing, jobs, public transit, and other resources. The federal government must recognize and acknowledge its role in systematically declining to invest in communities of color and preventing residents of those communities from accessing the same services and resources as their white counterparts. The effects of these policy decisions continue to be felt today, as racial inequality still permeates land use patterns in most U.S. cities and virtually all aspects of housing markets. Okay, read the rest of this. All right. This deals with redlining. This ties into infrastructure, all of this. This was from January 26, 2021. How many of you all read this? How many of you all heard of it? How many people didn't even know this existed? Okay. See, this is an example of how elections have consequences. And then it's about 2.7 trillion. I think the infrastructure plan, which is also an American jobs plan, that's going to have a huge positive impact on the African American community if you actually go through and read the highlights of it. Okay. Okay, so read that executive order. Check that out. Let me go back to let's see what we're looking at here. Okay. The highlights here. Okay, here we go. So also Americans would be able to enroll in 2 years of community college. The plan also calls for 12 weeks of guaranteed paid family and medical leave, 12 weeks of guaranteed paid family and medical leave, so Americans can take off time when a child is born or take care for themselves or a sick relative. All right, 12 weeks. Now that's just not for women, that's for fathers also. It's not just for mothers, that's for fathers as well. Now, other initiatives include a government payment of $3,600 per year for each child under 6 years old. Now, that's not just for white children, that includes African American children. So for people who, because I was reading some of the comments when Roland Martin was broadcasting, because Roland started his show today an hour late. He started at 7 o'clock because they were going to also broadcast Biden's speech. And you had some dumbasses comment on Biden's speech. You could tell they don't study politics. Okay? Basically, everything he talked about impacts African Americans. Other initiatives include a government payment of $3,600 per year for each child under 6 years old, and $3,000 per year for each child aged 6 to 17 for parents earning less than $125,000 a year. Increasing Pell Grants to help low-income students pay for college, and more generous child care subsidies. All this stuff will positively impact African Americans. As I've said before, a policy or bill or law does not have to say Black or African American for it to benefit you. A policy or law does not have to say Black or African American for it to benefit you. And if you really want to be honest, when you understand how many white people got to vote on this stuff, it's better if it doesn't say Black or African American if you actually want to get the stuff passed. When you realize how many white people got to vote on this in the House of Representatives and the Senate, it takes 218 votes in the House to get any bill passed. With the Congressional Black Caucus, there's only about maybe 59. L.C. Hastings of Florida just passed away. So I think it's 58, 59 in the House of Representatives that are members of the Congressional Black Caucus. And it takes 218 votes to get a bill passed in the House. And then the Senate, it's only Cory Booker. Because Tim Scott, who did the rebuttal tonight, Tim Scott is not a member of the Congressional Black Caucus. He didn't join the Congressional Black Caucus. Tim Scott is also against reparations. Tim Scott has said he's not voting for reparations. Let me show you what I posted on our Facebook fan page, the African History Network. So in the Senate, there's only one member of the Congressional Black Caucus in the Senate. That's Senator Cory Booker. Let's look at this here. So I posted this on our fan page, the African History Network. Let's look at this. This is about Tim Scott. I said, Tim Scott, let's see here. I said, Senator Tim Scott, who is black and against reparations, just said America is not a racist country. Okay? He's black and against reparations. In the speech, he said America is not a racist country. What the hell America does he live in? Hold on, let me flip back over to this. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Tim Scott said America is not a racist country. What America does he live in? And this was posted I did myself on my personal page. And then I also did a post here dealing with what Joe Biden said. White supremacy is terrorism. White supremacy is terrorism, Joe Biden said in the speech tonight. So you had Tim Scott. I mean, it's crazy what happened. You had Tim Scott say that America is not a racist country, and you had Joe Biden admit to the country that white supremacy is terrorism. All right, so all that happened today. Okay, so other things that are in the bill. All right. Now, also in the bill, and we'll flip back over to this and then get out of here. The bill also includes additional aid to make it cheaper for moderate income families to buy health insurance and get food assistance in the summer when kids are out of school. Biden's team calls this a major investment in Americans' education and well-being. Republicans see it as a big expansion of the welfare state. Polling indicates Americans are growing more comfortable with a larger role for government. In a recent Washington Post ABC News poll, support for a smaller government with fewer services was at the lowest level since 1984. Okay, it was Ronald Reagan was president in 1984. That whole trickle down economy nonsense, that stuff doesn't work. People are realizing they've been lied to by Republicans. After Republicans did that $1.9 trillion tax cut for millionaires and billionaires, okay, they're realizing that trickle down stuff doesn't work. Biden wants to pay for the $1.8 trillion bill by taxing the rich. Okay, the latest Biden plan calls for two key tax hikes on the rich. The first is to raise the top income tax bracket from 37%, where the GOP set it in 2017 with their tax cut. He wants to raise it back to 39.6%. That would still be less than the 50% rate in the early 1980s and the 70% top rate in the 1970s. Biden's second tax hike would be to increase taxes on capital gains, the tax paid on the gain when a stock or other investment is sold. And he would increase it on Americans earning more than $1 million a year, not on Americans that are worth more than $1 million, but on Americans earning more than $1 million a year. Okay, read the rest of this here. Top 5 takeaways from Biden's American Families Plan. Okay, this is from the Washington Post by Heather Long for the Washington Post. And we'll talk some more about this on Thursday's show. Okay. All right. If you like this type of information, you can support the African History Network. We definitely need your support. We're here 6 days a week. You can support us through Cash App, $the AHN Show through Cash App, $the AHN Show through Cash App. Then also through PayPal, paypal.me/the AHN Show. paypal.me/the AHN show. And then also on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, also through PayPal, paypal.me/the AHN show, or at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. All right, this helps us keep doing the research, stay on the air, keep broadcasting 6 days a week, pay some of the bills. Be sure to register for the online course that I'm teaching. It starts Saturday, May 1st, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, understanding the transatlantic slave trade, what they didn't teach you in school. This is a 9-week, 18-hour online course. We'll deal with thousands of years of history and what led up to the transatlantic slave trade taking place. Okay. I do a PowerPoint presentation. We have book references, articles, video clips. When you go to, you can click on the link here that I just posted. You can register there. You can watch from around the world. There's bonus content you can start watching as soon as you register. We do the classes live on Saturdays, and all the sessions are recorded, so you can go back and watch them over and over again. There is, so if you go to our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, right on the home page, click on, when you scroll down, you'll see the information for the radio show. And then you'll scroll down. Let's see here. You'll scroll down and you'll see information for the radio show. You can click here to listen to audio podcasts of the shows. Click here to read articles I've written. Then we have information here for the online course. Okay, starts Saturday, May 1st, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a flyer here for it as well. Click here to register here. Takes you to the next page, has a description of the course. Click here to enroll. It's regularly $130, on sale $80. And so, as soon as you enroll, you can start watching the content, okay? And then you'll be ready for class on Saturday, May 1st, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And once again, we do the class live. You can ask questions in the class through the live text chat. And all the sessions are recorded as well. So you can go back and watch them over and over again. You can watch from around the world, okay? All right, look, we have to get out of here. Remember, the African History Network, we focus on educating, empowering, and inspiring people of African descent throughout the diaspora and around the world, because right now it's corrects wrong behavior. It's not over till we win. Wakanda forever. We'll talk to you tomorrow night. Digital Dandelion's Technical Solutions works with businesses like yours to create an operations manual for your business, which is something many businesses don't have. According to AARP, more than 30% of small business owners are over 50 years old. Many business owners want to retire by selling their businesses or by passing their businesses on to their children. However, according to Forbes Investment Advisors, many retiring owners' attempts to sell their businesses for retirement fail. You cannot sell your business without a business manual. Your children also cannot inherit your business because there is no way to run it. Your business does not have to die when you leave. Their business Bible products will give you the tools you need for a thriving business that can make you money even after you retire. Are you looking at increasing your business's annual revenue? Digital Dandelions can help you make at least $100,000 in annual revenue and expand your business. Speak with them today about solidifying your business. Visit digitaldandelions.com today and get a free 30-minute consultation.
For 25 years, the Black History 101 Mobile Museum has carried on the rich legacy of the Black Museum movement in America by showcasing original artifacts of the Black experience at colleges, universities, K-12 schools, corporations, libraries, conferences, and cultural events, making it the most traversed Black History mobile exhibit in American history. Dr. Khalid El Hakim is the founder of the Black History 101 Mobile Museum, and he is a highly sought-after public speaker on topics of Black history, social studies, education, museum studies, hip-hop, and race relations. Dr. Khalid was named among the change makers for NBC Universal's Erase the Hate campaign and listed as one of the 100 men of distinction for Black enterprise. He recently founded the Michigan Hip Hop Archive on the campus of Western Michigan University. The Black History 101 Mobile Museum is currently scheduling in-person and virtual exhibits nationwide. For more information, please contact Dr. Khalid Al-Hakim directly at 313-645-4197, 313-645-4197, or visit their website at blackhistorymobilemuseum.com. That's blackhistorymobilemuseum.com. You can also email him at bhistory101@yahoo.com, bhistory101@yahoo.com.
Gain knowledge in minutes from insightful summaries of progressive and socially conscious books. Blacklisted gives you access to curated content that'll satisfy your curiosity to learn and understand different perspectives. Empower yourself through inspirational and actionable ideas. It's easy to read or listen to on the go. Blacklisted. Empower yourself. Start your free trial today.
Hi, I'm Joel Wilson, President and CEO of JCW Computer Consulting LLC, a technology implementation firm with over 20 years of satisfying customers. We offer a full spectrum of industry top-tier branded services. We are an authorized partner or reseller for Lenovo, Zoom, T-Mobile, Microsoft 365 and Surface tablets, Google Workspace, Acer, Asus, Samsung, PCmatic security software, and many more. Our online store features laptops, Chromebooks, computers, printers, accessories, and software. Businesses, take advantage of our free 1-hour Zoom tech consultation and know we offer top nationwide high-speed internet service providers, voice over IP, and cellular phone services. Home users, don't miss our current in-stock Chromebook inventory. Please visit us at jcwcc.com or call 215-879-6701.
With blackbusinesstee.com, the messages are clear and meaningful. Keep your business in the black and out of the red. Mind your black business. Know your numbers and plan strategically. Black Business Boss, lead your industry. Support black business. Encourage, patronize, and uplift one another. blackbusinesstee.com currently has products sold in Detroit, Atlanta, Chicago, and Los Angeles, with proceeds returned to the black community. They have a wide selection of hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, hats, sweatshirts that support black-owned businesses. Visit the website blackbusinesstee.com. That's blackbusinesstee.com. For 25 years, the Black History 101 Mobile Museum has carried on the rich legacy of the Black Museum movement in America by showcasing original artifacts of the Black experience at colleges, universities, K-12 schools, corporations, libraries, conferences, and cultural events, making it the most traversed Black History mobile exhibit in American history. Dr. Khalid Al-Hakim is the founder of the Black History 101 Mobile Museum, and he is a highly sought-after public speaker on topics of Black history, social studies, education, museum studies, hip-hop, and race relations. Dr. Khalid was named among the change makers for NBC Universal's Erase the Hate campaign and listed as one of the 100 men of distinction for Black enterprise. He recently founded the Michigan Hip Hop Archive on the campus of Western Michigan University. The Black History 101 Mobile Museum is currently scheduling in-person and virtual exhibits nationwide. For more information, please contact Dr. Khalid Al-Hakim directly at 313-645-4197, 313-645-4197, or visit their website at blackhistorymobilemuseum.com.